Hey there and welcome back, or welcome if it's your first time. I keep feeling like I'm gonna sneeze. Oh my gosh. Am I gonna sneeze or not? Okay, I guess it's not gonna happen. This video was supposed to be about springtime decluttering, but it might just be like a video of allergies kicking my butt, because that is currently what's happening. Anyways, what this video is supposed to be about is 24 things that you can declutter in 2024. And since we're like in springtime and it's like, what am I trying to say? Like spring cleaning, decluttering, light, happy spring things. Dang it, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze again. Oh my gosh. So we're gonna talk about 24 things that you can declutter in 2024. And why not just do it right now? Because we're already like in the spring cleaning mood, right? So if you're looking for a way to help your home feel fresh and light and like a peaceful place that you actually enjoy being instead of a cluttered mess that really stresses you out, then here are some really practical and easy ways to do that. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this list of 24 things, starting with number 1, your purse or bag. These are things that we use pretty much every single day, and it's gonna have a really big impact actually having these cleaned out and organized a little bit better. Go through, get rid of any trash, receipts, items that you don't need or don't want to have on hand, or things that are just making your bag extra heavy that don't need to be in there. For me, I usually try to have a little bit of a smaller purse that I use on a regular basis. I find that when I have those bigger purses, I just find things to fill it up with and to fill the extra space in that bag. So having a smaller bag helps me kind of keep it a little bit more minimal, a little more simple, and just the things that I actually will need and use on a daily basis. While you're at it, go ahead and go through the purses and bags themselves. Maybe declutter or get rid of some of the bags that you no longer use, that have worn out, or that maybe just aren't your style anymore or no longer fit your life. The next thing you can go through and clean out or declutter would be your car or vehicle. This is another thing that a lot of us use every single day. It gets a lot of use. We spend a lot of time in our car commuting to work, running errands, and it can really accumulate a lot of trash and clutter in them. I feel like when it comes to cars, there's two types of people. There's the one who like cleans it out every single time that they use it. And there's other people whose car kind of tends to be a bit of a hot mess, and there's just trash and receipts and wrappers and returns and things that probably shouldn't even be in a car, and a random shoe and sock and all that fun stuff. So whichever person you are, go ahead, go through your car, take out all the old receipts and wrappers and trash. Maybe take all that stuff, the extra shoes and socks and random things that are in the car, and take them back into the house where they belong. Maybe even run the car through the car wash for a little extra spa day for your car. And the things that you do want to keep and have in the car with you, just find a way to kind of keep them organized, keep them in the places where they need to be so that your car can stay a little more clean and well maintained on the everyday basis. Dang, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze again. Oh my gosh. Sorry if this is all like very dramatic and over the top for you guys. This is my first time living on the East Coast for spring. I'm from Arizona, where like allergies are few and far. I never had allergies ever in my life living in Arizona. So this is new for me. My body is freaking out. It does not know what to do with all of this nature and pollen going on. So just bear with me a little bit through the video. The third thing you can go through and declutter is your shoes. These actually take up a lot of space in our homes. So getting rid of some of these can really help you create a little bit more space, going through, getting rid of shoes that are no longer your style, maybe that are really uncomfortable. For me, I find if I have shoes that are not comfortable, I don't wear them. I am too old to deal with uncomfortable shoes, no matter how cute they look. It's just not worth it for me. So anything that's not comfortable, doesn't fit, maybe isn't my style anymore, or even just shoes that are worn out, you can go ahead, pass those on. The fourth thing would be to go through your junk or utility drawer. At one point for a lot of us, this drawer was totally useful and actually had things in it that we needed and used. But over time, they tend to get disorganized and way out of hand and just become cluttered with a bunch of random stuff. So go ahead and go through, get rid of things that you don't need or don't use regularly, and find homes for the items that really don't belong in that drawer. Number 5 is empty products. Go through all the different areas of your house, and if you have empty skincare or makeup or shampoo bottles, go through your fridge. Do you have any empty condiment jars, containers? Empty condiment vessels of some kind. Going through your pantry and any empty packages or bags, or cereal boxes because someone in the house puts back an empty cereal box when they're done with it. Going through and getting rid of all those extra empty bottles, packages, and products will really help create that clear space, and that way you don't have to sort through and try to figure out which one is empty, which one isn't. You'll know exactly what you have. It just makes life a lot easier. So while you're in the kitchen getting rid of all those empty products, go ahead and stay in the kitchen and move on to number 6, which is to go through your fridge or freezer. Also get rid of anything that is expired, food that's gone bad or spoiled. Clean and wipe down things just to freshen it up a bit, and anything that you do want to have on hand that you are going to use and that you want to put back in the fridge, make sure that it's organized in a way that makes sense, that is easy to see. For me, if I have items or products that are going to be going bad soon or that I really want to remember to use up, I go ahead and put those front and center right on the top or middle shelf, so it's super easy to see as soon as I open the fridge to remind myself to use those up before they go bad and to create less waste. And once you're done with the fridge, move right on over to the next one, which is going to be the pantry. The pantry can really make or break your cooking experience. So if you're finding that it's making cooking in your home difficult or stressful or just really frustrating, it's probably time to go through it. Get rid of any stale or expired items, or even just things that you didn't like. We've all done it. We buy snacks or food that looks good. We think we're gonna like it, or we think we're gonna eat it because it's healthy and good for us, but we just don't like it, and that's okay. But if you're not gonna eat it and it's just gonna sit there, you might as well go ahead, get rid of it so that it's not creating that physical and mental clutter for you just sitting there on the shelf. You can also condense duplicates if you've got multiple open packages of the same type of product. Just go ahead and combine those so you just have one. You know how much you have. You don't have to worry about whether there's another one open somewhere or do you have an extra somewhere stuffed back in the pantry. You can just easily see what you have. Moving on to number 8, which is going to be the entryway closet or cabinet, or kind of whatever space and storage solution that you have going on in your entryway. These are really high traffic areas and they easily accumulate a lot of things that don't belong there. If you're like me, you end up just throwing random stuff in there as soon as you get home because you don't want to deal with putting it away. So take some time, give your entryway some love, go through, get rid of any trash, take all the things that belong somewhere else in your home and put them where they actually belong. If there are things like returns that need to be put back to the store or things that you borrowed from someone that need to be returned to them, go ahead and actually put those out somewhere that you're going to remember to take them with you next time you leave so you can get those done. The next category to go through is digital clutter. This is an area we can often ignore because it doesn't take up a whole lot of physical space. And since it's not out there in the open taking up space, a lot of times I just forget to go through it. And then it ends up making me stressed or frustrated later on because I can't find that video or photo or file that I was trying to find, or I get the notification that I'm out of storage space. I recently ran out of storage space on my laptop, so spent a long time going through, deleting old files, photos, videos, documents, folders that I no longer needed, programs I don't use. So going through and taking some time on your devices to delete old stuff that you don't use will help you be able to find whatever it is you do need on your devices so much easier and will help them run faster and better. The next thing to go through would be your cleaning supplies. Get rid of any empty products or maybe combine some duplicates if you have a couple bottles that are partly empty of the same thing. If you have cleaning products that you tried and maybe didn't like or didn't work super well for you, either go ahead and try to finish using them up or give them away. Go through your cabinet under the sink, your cleaning closet, laundry room, whatever that space is for you, where you keep all those cleaning products. For me this year, I am doing a low buy challenge for 2024. So with my cleaning products, what I've really tried to do is use up whatever I have without having a huge stockpile of extras. And over the course of the past couple years, I found the products that I really like. It's pretty simple. I don't have a ton of products. I just use the ones that I like, the ones that work well. And when those are totally gone, I will go out and repurchase one more of them. And it's made things a lot simpler, and under my sink is no longer a hot mess. And number 11 is spices. Over time, spices can lose some of their flavor or their potency, so go through and maybe get rid of some of the ones that are way too old or way past their expiration date that just are not going to be very effective anymore. And get rid of the spices that you don't like. Maybe you bought a spice because you needed like half a teaspoon of it in a recipe that you tried that you found on a random blog, and you didn't even like the recipe. You find out you didn't even like the flavor of that spice and it's just been sitting in the back of your cabinet. Yeah, those are ones that you can get rid of as well. Next is books. I love reading and I am a big fan of physical books, like having the physical books, feeling it, the smell of books, like, oh, yes, I love books. But if your bookcase is feeling overwhelming, or when you go to pick out a book, you feel uninspired or don't know where to start, it might be time to pare down a little bit. I love the look of having just stacks and piles of books everywhere around the house, full bookcases. I absolutely love the way that looks in other people's homes and walking into bookstores and libraries. But finding a way to store and manage and clean and maintain all that books just ended up not being worth it for me. My husband is a chef and he has the most amazing cookbook collection that he has been kind of growing and putting together over the past years of him working. And I have a couple books myself that I reread on a regular basis. A lot of the time I found I would just read a book once. Even if I really liked it and enjoyed the book and the series, I only read it once and then it just sat on the shelf and it looked very cool. And I also did that thing where I bought books from Amazon just because they look really cute and they were just coffee table books. Literally didn't even open them, never read those books. They were just like aesthetic books. But at the end of the day, I didn't want to just keep dusting and taking care of all those books that I never used, that I never read, and that I didn't get continued value out of. So I went ahead and gave all of those away, gave them to friends and family who I knew would love and enjoy those books and actually get to read them. And I told them when they were done with it, if they didn't plan to read it again, pass it on to someone else that they thought would enjoy it so that book could continue to be enjoyed and give value. And there have been a couple times where there have been books that I've given away that I have wanted to reread. Lucky for me, library is right down the street and I will just borrow it from the library or from friends and family again if I ever want to reread it. So maybe start with getting rid of some of the books that you know you're not going to read again or that you read and you didn't like. And also books that you've outgrown or are no longer interested in. A lot of times our taste in books changes over the years and that's okay. So whatever ones that you feel are not serving you or that you don't want to keep on your shelf, go ahead and pass those along. The next category that you can declutter is duplicates. Having duplicates of the same thing can definitely clutter up the space, but it can also make it hard to know how much that you have of something, which is the open win, which one do you need to use it first. So for consumables or personal care products, maybe just combine ones that are already open to make your life a little easier. And for things like kitchen gadgets, clothing, shoes, accessories, if you have items that are similar to each other, just keep the one that you love best. Keep your favorite spatula that you use the most, the black pair of heels that you really love and are comfortable, the one pair of sunglasses that's your favorite and you wear all the time. This is just a really small thing, but it can really help simplify your home and your life. Number 14 would be your closet or wardrobe. Our closets can feel very overwhelming. This can be a big one to tackle sometimes. So if it feels like it's too much or too overwhelming, just set a timer for 10 or 15 minutes and go through your items during that time. I think you'd be surprised how much you can actually get through in those 10 or 15 minutes. Quickly pull out anything that doesn't fit, is worn out or damaged past the point of being repaired, things that are not your style anymore, or things that you haven't worn in a year, and of course anything that is uncomfortable or that you don't like the way that it looks or feels on you. For me, the simpler my closet is, the easier it is to get ready every single day, and I love being able to open my closet and have it just be clothes that I love every single piece. I wear them all the time. I like the way it looks and feels on me. It feels like my personal style, and I'm excited to get ready every day, which makes a huge difference. And since we're already in our closets, number 15 is backup undergarments. If you have extra underwear, socks, bras that don't fit or are ripped or old or worn out, or if you just have like extras that are backups in case you don't do laundry for like a really long time and you get super desperate, yeah, don't hang on to the desperation backup underwear like I used to. I got rid of those because first of all, I didn't even like them and they didn't even really fit that great in the first place. And second of all, that helped motivate me to stay on top of laundry and not go weeks and weeks at a time without getting the laundry done. So now all my socks, underwear, bra fit, I like them, and I only have enough to ensure that I need to do laundry at least once a week, which works out good for me too. Number 16 is all the kitchen tools and gadgets and appliances. Try focusing on just the few cabinets or drawers that are the most messy or cluttered, since that's where you're gonna see the biggest impact when you declutter them. So whether that's your small appliances, your utensil drawer, your coffee station or mug cabinet, wherever those areas are, find those things that are mismatched, broken, duplicates, things that you don't use, or even those like single use items that you don't really need, like an avocado scooper, slicer, whatever, like that thing that you like can slice out an avocado. You could do that with a knife or a spoon. Controversial item, get rid of your pizza cutter. You could just use a knife. I know not everybody agrees with that, so like, feel free to disagree in the comments, like, but be nice about it. The kitchen is a really practical space and an area in our home that we use a lot. So not having it cluttered up with things that you don't use or that are broken or a bunch of duplicates or extra tools that just are not necessary, having all of those gone will really help simplify your kitchen and make your cooking experience that much easier and more enjoyable. Next is makeup and skincare. I learned a couple years ago that makeup and skincare expires. I know probably everybody else already knew this, but you can literally look up like the charts and tables of like how long things typically last if it's not already on the product itself. Like that mascara and eyeshadow that you're hanging on to that you've had since college, probably should not be using that anymore. So if you're not sure how long things last or if it's expired, Google it. There's lots of cool fancy charts that will like help you work through it like they did me. Also getting rid of products that you didn't like. Not every product works for us and that's okay. And hanging on to it because it's expensive is not a good reason. There are a lot of makeup or skincare products that I have held on to that didn't work for me, I didn't like, but because I spent a lot of money on it, I didn't want to like give it away or throw it out, so it just sat in my cabinet for like a year or more. If it didn't work for you and it was expensive, I'm sorry, I feel your pain, it sucks, but just get rid of it. If you haven't used it in a year, you're not gonna use it. Next, hair accessories and products, same thing as makeup. If you have a bunch of stuff that you don't use, that doesn't work for you, all the extra brushes and hair styling tools and clips and ties and serums and stuff like that, keep the few that you use, that you love, that you use on a regular basis, and all the extra stuff that you don't use, or maybe your taste has changed or you're doing something different with your hair now, just get rid of the stuff that you don't want and don't need. Number 19 is gifts that you don't use or need. I know this one can be really challenging because there's a lot of emotions tied in with gifts that people have given to us. We can feel really guilty about choosing not to keep that item because we feel like that's a representation of our relationship with the person who gave it to us. But the truth is that is not the case. The person who gave that gift to you probably does not want you to feel burdened by it, and hanging on to all these extra things just because we feel guilty about it really is not going to be good for us in the long run. Number 20, craft or hobby supplies. I love a good craft or a hobby, and years ago I was super into scrapbooking, like really into scrapbooking. I had a Cricut, I had like all the papers and the stickers and like the drawer organizers, like I had a whole setup. But crafts and hobbies can be a huge source of stuff and clutter. So if there are things that you are no longer interested in, hobbies that you no longer do, giving away all of those extra items that you're no longer using or hobbies that you're no longer into will free up so much space. Next would be extra linens and blankets. I know everybody's different and however many beds that you have in your house is gonna vary. Some people like to have the set of bed sheets that are on the bed plus an extra set. For me, I decluttered the extras and we just have the one set of sheets that are on our bed. When they get dirty, I take them off, put everything through the washer and dryer really quickly, get it back on the bed. It works for me. And also getting rid of all the extra blankets, throws, towels, anything that's not soft or that you don't use, any things that have gotten really damaged or worn out, go ahead and just get rid of all the extras. And you'd be surprised how much space all of those blankets and linens take up. So not having all those extras stuffed into the closets and storage spaces will really free things up a lot. Okay, we're almost at the end of the list. I promise we're almost there. Let's wrap this up with a final few. Number 22 is mugs and water bottles. And I know we kind of covered this one a little bit when we touched on the kitchen, but I feel like mugs and water bottles need their own category because this seems to be an area where a lot of us have a huge amount of excess. I know a lot of us might collect cute mugs and have a cupboard where there's multiple shelves of them, but that is more mugs than we could ever use at one time. Same thing with reusable water bottles. Keep the ones that you really genuinely love and use on a regular basis. If there are ones that are broken old, worn out, maybe don't have that much meaning if it's just like a random freebie that you got on a conference or just not that great quality, go ahead and get rid of all those ones and just keep your very favorites. Number 23, cords and cables. For this one, my husband and I have a really simple rule. If we don't know what that cord or cable is for, and if we haven't used it in a year, we get rid of it. That simple. And last but not least, number 24, excess wall art and decor. For me, just really having my home be simple and calm and a peaceful space means not having my walls absolutely covered with a bunch of different pieces of art or a lot of extra decor. Everyone is different, everyone has different styles. I love a well done gallery wall, don't get me wrong. So feel free to decorate and style your home any way that you want. But if you are feeling like your space feels cluttered or just feel like there's a lot going on, really try simplifying and taking some of the things off the wall. Just keep the few pieces that you like or try rearranging them a little differently. Like I said, to each their own style and decorate your home however you want. But for me, keeping it really simple and minimal makes my home feel so calm and peaceful and makes it a lot easier to clean and take care of. Okay. We made it to the end of the list. Thank you so much if you actually stuck around this long. Hopefully I edited out all the sneezes and sniffing. These allergies are no joke. If you guys have tips for somebody who's not lived somewhere where allergies are an issue before, definitely time to take more allergy medicine. Oh dang it, I spoke too soon. Okay, we're good. Anyways, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. What would you recommend? What are things that you would add to this list of things that you could declutter, areas that you could tackle in your home as we're all kind of refreshing and lightening our homes for spring? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.